Welcome everybody to our session on EDI, and our guest speaker is Shawn Sissenwein, one of our senior consultants. Welcome to the series, Shawn.
Thank you.
She is going to be talking with us in this first episode about one of the key documents used in the EDI process for sales, and that is the 846 inventory availability. Shawn, we had a chance to discuss this particular form before we started this session, and if you could you briefly summarize what the purpose of this form is?
So the purpose of this form really is for the trading partners, especially if they're putting your product online, they know what the inventory availability, so how much inventory you have, so they know how much inventory they have when they put it on their website.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. So you mentioned when we were discussing this that there were quite a few business decisions that needed to be made as a result of maintaining the information that goes out on this form. Can you talk about some of those business decisions that company might need to make before they send those out?
Yes. So if you have the same items that you're selling across multiple channels or multiple customers, sometimes it's hard to determine what percentage of on-hand available inventory do you want to show. Because if you're sending this inventory file to 5 people and you're showing 100% of your inventory to each one of the customers, and they order, then you're going to come into a situation where you're going to not have enough inventory. So coming up with that balance, whether it's 80%, 85, even 95% of your on-hand availability that you're going to show to each one of your customers.
Yeah, I think that would be critical to avoid having outages when you have too many orders coming in from other places, which sometimes would seem to be a nice problem to have, but not really, right?
Right. It's your good and bad.
Yep.
The other thing of looking at too is how often are you going to send the file? Are you going to send it in the mornings? Some of the customers will send it a couple of times a day, and then some customers just send it at the end of the day or first thing in the morning after they've done all their shipping, so they have kind of a good understanding of what they have on hand.
Okay. Can you talk about some of the key components of the data that is on this form so that we can understand a little bit more about what information is being sent to those trading partners?
Yeah, this file really, the one thing you'll have on there is either a vendor number, your part number, UPC number. You'll send your quantity, whatever you determine that's going to be, percentage of what you have on hand. And then also, a lot of times you'll have pricing in this file too. So you'll want to make sure your pricing is, if you're sending it in the 846, that it's accurate to what the pricing is that you've agreed with the trading partner.
Yeah, I really like the tip that you shared about the percentage of quantity on hand. Are there any other pro tips that you could share with us about using this particular document?
I think, like I said, you'll want to just decide how much inventory you're going to show.
That's really the key with this one. Yep, make sure that it's the right amount so that you can fulfill things when it comes through. Very good. All right. Well, we have a sample that is going to be available out on our website for you to download, and we'll show that for those who are watching on video right now. This is the inventory availability 846 sample. Shawn, are there some key components of this sample that you'd like to point out?
I think the nice thing to show this is it gives you an idea of what the file looks like, what information is in there, and as you'll be able to see that it really is it becomes a long file just because you're sending a lot of items, typically, unless you have a smaller assortment. You'll see the vendor number, the part number, UPC number, pricing, quantity on hand, and then it'll just go through the whole file when you're sending it.
Fantastic. All right. Great to be able to see an example of what we're talking about there so that we can understand a little bit more about what's happening as this information is being communicated.
Yes.
Very good. Well, that is our recap of exactly what's going on with that 846 inventory availability. Thanks so much for being here, Shawn. In our next episode, we're going to be talking about the 850, the purchase order. I'm Carrie Peters. Thank you for tuning in to the Get Your New View podcast. For more episodes like this on YouTube, click the subscribe button and ring the bell to ensure that you get notified whenever new content comes out. If you're listening to the audio podcast, please share an honest review on Apple Podcasts. If you are ready to rethink today for tomorrow, look for the link below and contact us to speak with our expert team. You won't find the level of no-nonsense real-world experience we offer anywhere else, and we're here to put that experience to work for you.